Joe come up to announce? Oh,
I've got an announcement, Scott. Take just a second here. As many of you have pointed out to me over the last, I guess, year, my attendance here has not been the greatest, but there's a reason for that. My job that I've had for the last year has required me to do a lot of travel. And really I was using that position as a stepping stone into something else. And I have been offered a position in Little Rock, Arkansas to take over a district operation down there, and I'm actually going to do that. And so today's my last meeting. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time here. I have made a lot of great friends. I've been in the Cape area since 2002. There's a nice house for sale over in South Ridge in Jackson, Missouri, too, for anybody that is interested in a log home. But anyway, I will be taking that position over. But I just wanted to say, I didn't want to just disappear off the face of the earth. But my presidency, I'm assuming, will be remembered along the same lines as Chester Arthur. There's a few laughing out there. He was a president of the United States, for some of you that didn't know, in the late 1800s. A man of distinguished accomplishment. Anyway.
Until he got transferred to Little Rock.
But anyway, I'll stick around a little bit afterwards and talk to some of you guys. But anyway, I really appreciate the time that you've had me in the club. I will be looking to transfer to one of the Rotary clubs in Little Rock. So if any of you know anyone down there that knows of a nice club that I could join, why? Let me know. I'm sure Jerry McClanahan probably has. I'll bet you do, Jerry. All right, anyway, I don't want to take up any more time, but thanks.
Tim, we always thought you'd be more like a William McKinley.
He was assassinated.
Exactly. He showed up in 4 days of work. Today's speaker is Coach Tom Matukewics, who's the 13th football coach in the history of Southeast Missouri State University. Coach Tuk has 17 years coaching experience, including 12 seasons as a coordinator. His teams have participated in postseason play 10 of the last 11 seasons. The last 2 years, he was defensive coordinator and linebackers coach at University of Toledo. Prior to that, he was at Northern Illinois. He had followed Coach Jerry Kill from Southern Illinois to Northern Illinois in 2007. So he was at Southern Illinois from 2001 to 2007, and notable is in 2007, he was the football championship subdivision assistant coach of the year. And of course, the Salukis had one of the top rushing defenses in the country that year. Coach is a native of Silver Lake, Kansas. He did his undergraduate work at Fort Hays State and then did master's at Pittsburgh State. He and his wife have 2 daughters, and they're all together in Cape Girardeau now. Let's welcome Coach Tuk.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the introduction, and obviously, you brought a football coach out here, and I appreciate that, but, we're not going to stand around, hold hands, sing Kumbaya. We're going to talk about how we're going to do some things. I'm excited. I'm fired up. Everybody asks me, why did you take the job? And when I speak and I talk about what we're going to do, get eye rolls and all those things, and that's why I'm here. I want to do something no one's done. Consistently build a winner. Okay? Because I know what that feels like, and that's why I took this job, and that's why I talked 8 coaches into joining me. I'm excited about being in the area. I'm actually a Missouri guy. My family on the other side of the state in the Ozarks. I don't know if you guys have heard of Cassville, Missouri, but that's where I was raised, and then spent high school and college years in Kansas. And then my wife's in-laws, or my in-laws, live in St. Louis. So now that our kids are getting a little older, it's kind of nice to be back in Missouri. You take moves and you make decisions in your life to try to build a resume that someday I could do this. And this has been kind of a dream of mine to be a head coach, and came here because we're ready. We got an athletic director named Mark Allnut, who I think's one of the top ADs in the country. I mean, he is sharp. He knows what he's doing. He played football. You know, for a football coach, that makes me feel a lot more comfortable. He knows what ISO feels like. So that kind of fired me up, and obviously our President Dobbins, and the commitment level that the university is starting to make in our program is kind of what brought me here. And I'll tell you a little bit about where I've been and kind of our plan to win. I've been a part of 3 program turnarounds, all of them with a man named Jerry Kill, who's at Minnesota, who just turned their program around and won 8 games this last year. But I was at a Division II school in Emporia State. Actually took them to being a winner, made the playoffs, and then went to Southern Illinois. When we went to Southern Illinois, I thought Coach Kill would run my career and all of our careers. I thought we'll never win here. You know, a lot worse situation than here, winning and losing. They lost to Western Illinois 18 years in a row. A league opponent 18 years in a row. They talked about dropping the program. We had a cocaine charge the second day on the job from one of our players. It was as bad as it could be. We went 1-10, we went 4-8, and then we went 5 straight 10-win seasons. We're the first ever FCS team to beat a Big Ten team in Indiana. All right, in the history of the Big Ten. I've seen what that did to a university. I've seen what that did to a region, and it galvanized us. Then we went to Northern Illinois. The year before we got there, they were 1-10. We actually beat them at Southern Illinois. All right, went there 4 years later, went to the Orange Bowl. Okay, so I've been a part of that, okay, in that process, and that's exactly what we're going to be here. We're going to be a process-driven program. Okay, we're not going to focus on results, we're going to focus on process, and that process we call is brick by brick. And how we're going to build it, because the thing about Emporia, the thing about Southern, and the thing about Northern, they're still winning. Because we built that the right way, on rock solid foundational stuff that all successful people know is important. And we're going to make those decisions based on the future, not based on the immediate result. Try to win and get out type concept is why we have all kinds of problems we have now. Basically, that process and that success that we're after is basically what we're trying to do is do common things with uncommon discipline and uncommon enthusiasm. Like, success isn't complicated. It's just hard. That's why not a lot of people can have it. Okay? You know, being good with money is not complicated. It's having the discipline. Okay? And that's what our team's got to understand is discipline. And it really wouldn't matter. If you give a man $1 million and he's an undisciplined person, what will he have in 5 years?
0.
Okay? You give a person an extreme amount of talent, NFL talent, top 1% in the world, and if he's undisciplined, you'll never hear of him. You'll never hear his name. If you don't have discipline, you don't have anything. When I first got to Southeast, I polled our players if there's 4 things you could change about our program, what would it be? The number 1 thing was discipline. We have a lack of discipline in our program. So when I first got here, we institute our discipline program, and we have 4 rules. Act right, be on time, go to class, consistently work hard. It's not complicated, but it is hard. Act right. Okay, everybody ought to know what that is as an 18-year-old kid. All right, go to class. You're here to get an education. Be on time, because if you're not on time, and I don't teach you that, guess what you're going to do your first job? Get fired. Because being on time is kind of an important thing in life. Okay, and then consistently work hard. All right, so what we do when I first got to Southeast Missouri, all right, I had our director of football operations buy me a bunch of these. Okay, and they're called yellow shirts. And then when I first got there, he said, well, you know, we're a Nike school, we can get some really nice yellow shirts. I'm not sure why the hell you want yellow shirts, but okay. I was like, no, I don't want any of that. I want a shirt that Walmart or Target won't even sell. I want the worst shirt you could find. And I want it to stick out bright canary yellow. The other thing I want you to do is on the back of it, I want you to put this on there. Okay? And what it says is, I let my teammates down. So if you have a problem with discipline, you break one of our 4 rules. Okay? We come and we collect all the nice Nike gear, and we give you this gear. And there's some really nice shorts to go with it. You know how kids, they want the loose long shorts. These are just the opposite. Bun huggers on the thigh. All right? And so what they do, if they have a violation in our program, they wear this stuff for 1 week. Okay? Then, and I'm going to go through this because I think this is important. This is how we're going to win here. Okay? You got to hit their wallet. Right? This thing's got to sting, so they got to donate $10 to a charity. We'll pick a charity each semester to support, and there's lots of reasons for that. One, I want it to be painful. Two, I want them to understand is you can still make it. You can make a positive from a negative. Okay, and then for 1 week you have extra workouts. So any workout we have a yellow shirt workout following immediately. Okay, so that's the first violation. You're in this for 1 week, and so when we're lifting down at Success Center and the volleyball team walks by and they're kind of checking the football team out, guess what they see? You can't hide here. If you can't get right, you're going to be really uncomfortable here. And that's the point. Okay? And I'll tell them, I say, hey, you want to date him? Why, he's got a yellow shirt? Why? Because he can't go to class. Can't be on time. You know, those type of concepts. So the second time we turn the heat up. All right? You know, everybody makes a mistake, and that's part of the thing, but, you know, really the second time you're in a yellow shirt, that's when the heat starts rising on you. Okay? You're in this for 2 weeks. It's $20. The difference, though, is your position group runs extra. Okay? So now what do you get? You're getting that peer pressure, right? Okay? And then if we reach a third phase, what happens is I get a lazy boy. I'm talking a really nice, lazy, comfortable lazy boy, right? I get it out and I put it on the 50-yard line. Then I put the guy that you know, can't seem to get right in it. And then I murder his teammates right in front of him while he's sitting there having a Coke in a chair. And I want them to understand your decisions matter. You affect your teammates by the choices that you make. And so you'd be shocked now how effective this yellow shirt program is, and that's the key to discipline and key to life is it's got to be always. If we had an apparatus on our vehicle that every time we went 10 miles over the speed limit, it'd shut down, you have to swipe your credit card to get it going again, you would never speed. Why? Because it always happens, and that's the key. That's what I told our strength staff. That's what I told our academic staff, all right, our training staff. Like, if they set an appointment, they're late to it, yellow shirt. You have to be consistent because the guy that doesn't have any discipline in the classroom is going to get our butt beat on Saturday. That's how we're going to run our program, and that's what we're going to be about as far as a discipline standpoint. The other thing that I want to talk to you a little bit about because of this organization and this group is, you know, you guys matter. You really do. You're a difference maker in our community. And I'm here today because of a difference maker in my life. I had a difference maker that wasn't my dad. I work with 105 football players, all male. Okay? And every single issue that pops up in their life, I guarantee I could point back to a man in his life. Okay? And I want you to know you matter. I was confused. 18, 19, 20-year-old people are confused. Okay? I was confused because my dad was confused. He was confused because his dumbass dad was confused, right? It was a generation. First guy to ever go to college in my whole family. Why? Because someone decided to make a difference in my life. I lived with my high school coach for 2 years. Brought me in. Worked nights at Hallmark. Stamping cards. Coach was my defensive coordinator. Had 2 kids. Okay? Didn't have a lot of money, but brought me in. First time I ever heard the word Jesus Christ. How big do you think that is? My kids' kids, like I have 2 kids, their kids, will not be the same because of a difference maker. Because of people like you. First time I ever saw how a man treated a woman. Gave me $5 allowance for that week. He's been, that same guy's been to one of my football games, or since I've been coaching, has been to at least one a year. He was at my press conference, one of the, as far as my career, one of the best feelings I've ever had. He was right there. And if it wasn't for a guy like him or people like you, where would we be? So I'm going to encourage you. I want you to come out of here sprinting upstairs, trying to get on the phone, get a hold of somebody, and make a difference, because that's what matters. His payday is seeing me, right? And your payday may not be a check. It may be an email you get, 5 years from today about a difference you make. And I want to encourage you. We need you. Our kids, our youth need you, because they're confused. You know what they do? They put on earphones to try to figure out life from some song, all right? Or they get on YouTube trying to figure out how to treat a woman, okay? And we need to stand up and tell them what's right. We need more men, and I know they've got a couple of ladies here, and I'm talking to the group because I coach men. I got 2 daughters, and all I do is, hey, babe, what do you think? I'm much better with men. It's amazing I can make a 320-pound offensive lineman cry like that. Okay? I can't even tell my damn daughter to pick up her shoes. I tell you, I don't know what they got, like it's my kryptonite. But anyway, just with these young people, like, they're everything. Like, they matter. Like, you can change a generation by just caring. And there's a Tom Matukewics in your circle of life. I was this far away from a turd. I could have gone either way. Why am I here? There's no reason I should be in front of you. There's no reason I should be the head football coach at Southeast Missouri State. I barely graduated high school. All right? But I know God's got a plan for me, and He put somebody in my life, and they took advantage of that, and look at me now. Because of somebody, some difference maker just like you guys. So I want to encourage you. I kind of get fired up because that's who I am. That's what I do for a living. And I want to definitely leave some time here for some questions that you may have about our program. And when I go to clinics or I have a meeting or anything, I always, look at its success. If I got one thing from that meeting or one thing from that guy, it was successful. So I hope you got something from us, just from a discipline standpoint or being a difference maker in somebody's life. But I appreciate you having us here. One thing I'll close with is kind of our schedule. We start spring ball here soon, March 25th, and we finish April 26th. On April 26th, we're going to have a free youth clinic camp. All right, boys and girls. Okay, from kindergarten to 8th grade. I got 8 NFL players committed to coach it. My seniors will coach it. I'll coach it. It'll be free right before our spring game. So we're getting ready to launch that and going to try to make it a big deal. We're going to have young people take the field with us when we take the field. I used to call it bleacher creatures, that every young kid that's in the stadium comes down and they join us as we attack the field. So we'll kind of install that this spring and kind of teach people how we're going to, get excited about football around here. So that's coming up. Then we're going to have a youth camp this summer. We're going to have several prospect camps, but we're going to get people on our campus and we're going to treat them right. So, is there any questions?
I just want to say that I met Coach Tuk last week, and he had already volunteered to help the Boys and Girls Club go pick up some cubicles that are out of P&G, but we didn't have any way to get them there. So he volunteered some of his young men and a vehicle, a big box truck, to pick up these cubicles and make a difference in kids' lives. Thank you. And as I told you, I've got to go to court, but I just want to tell you what we.
What'd you do?
I've got a good lawyer over here, but he's already making a difference in Cape, so let's help him make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you.
I lived through the SI. I'm a Saluki grad, and I lived through those bad football programs. And you and Coach Kill are like, well, Coach Kill's inducted in the Hall of Fame. Southeast has got a fantastic. If you got Coach Kill influence, you got a fantastic coach here. I want you to comment on your offense. Are you going to run wishbone? What is he going to? If you can tell us, sometimes it's top secret. But anyway, and then about the schedule, non-conference schedule and whatnot, and are you going to keep the Salukis on your schedule each year?
We are going to run offense. I don't know if you guys watch football, but Auburn's offense, okay, well, we would call that as a spread running team, but a spread formation and try to run the ball. So if you saw Auburn play this year, that's kind of our vision, and just the fact that we have to understand we're not Alabama. Like we're not recruiting 5-star players and we're going to line them up and make this a physical science lesson. Okay, we're going to have to get creative. We're going to have to do some things. So that's kind of what we're going to do on offense, and the fact that one of our biggest concerns is what we're going to do at quarterback. Okay, because we have a lot of pieces in place, but that's not. We got to get the guys we have better, and we may take a transfer from a Division I school at that position. So that's where we're at on offense. I think we should play SIU every year. It just makes sense. Why wouldn't you? Okay, if you don't want to do that, it's because you're scared. Okay, otherwise it makes perfect sense. It doesn't cost much. You get fans going both ways. All right, and I want to kick their ass. But you're definitely not talking to the guy that decides that. So I'm not sure where we're at with that. And then our non-conference, we open up on a Thursday night, which is what I wanted to do. That's one thing I got done because that's the opening week of school. I want every freaking kid in that university at that stadium getting it on. Okay, and Thursday night's easier to get a kid there than Saturday, so that's why we're playing on Thursday night, and I'm really excited about that. We got KU after that, which is a good regional game, and we're always going to play a money game. They call it a BCS game because we have to from a financial standpoint. The next one we play is Missouri, which makes sense, and then we're working on that in 3 years from now where we're going to play. But it's looking like we know who that is, and there'll be another BCS regional team. So
It seems like the teams, and you kind of touched on this, but it seems like lately the teams in the OVC that do well will have like a player from Oregon or a FBS, I guess, transfer. And we really didn't have that under the last regime very often. The year that we did, we had a running back that was really good and had a great season. So I wondered, I know there's a balance between wanting kids in your program for 4 or 5 years and teaching them the lessons that you're talking about today, but there's also the talent level issue with getting those transfers. So I just wondered about your philosophy on transfers.
Well, our heart and soul is going to come from high schools. Okay? But we're going to cast a big enough net that we'll take a junior college transfer and we're going to take a 4-year transfer. But our identity and our heart and soul comes from the high school programs. The closer the better, but that may not, just kind of depends what kind of talent you have locally. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Brandon Jacobs, okay, but he's a pretty good player that's still playing, okay. He came to SIU. We had several of those type of guys, and we're going to have that avenue, and I'm recruiting 3 right now I can't comment on, but yeah, we're going to try to do that. Like you said, there's no history, and that's kind of the frustrating here. I feel like everything's for the first time. Like the first time we're ever running a camp, the first transfer we ever take. So, we're trying to get things going, but that will be a part of it. I'd say 1 to 2 a year, is a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
What do you think the biggest challenge that you're going to have to overcome this fall is going to be for your first year?
Biggest challenge? That's a great question. I think, well, the first game maybe hyperventilating, so I'd be so fired up. And, I'd say keeping the main thing the main thing. Like that's the like you get in. It's like a book. You want to get to chapters 28. But you got to make sure chapters 1, 2, and 3 get done, and you have one chance to set the foundation and not give on your principles, and that's the thing I got to watch, because you get tired, you get run down, and then you start giving on discipline, you start giving on all this stuff, and then pretty soon you lose what it is you're all about. So, that would probably be something, and just keeping my life in balance. Like if I didn't have a family, like I wouldn't have a house. I'd just go to work. When I get tired, I'd sleep in my chair. Like I'm that single-mindedness. That's why I'm glad I got a family and I got other interests, because that's not a healthy situation. So, but that's definitely in me to get out of balance there. And just to make sure, you know, I don't care what happens, I'm not losing my family in this job. Like, they're gonna know their dad, they're gonna, you know, me and mama still gonna, you know, have some of those date nights, you know, so.
Coach, how would you have us help you?
Well, I think you gotta recruit. You gotta recruit, go back to your jobs, talk about what's going on at Southeast. We have a negative persona out there a little bit, athletics, football-wise. Certainly in St. Louis and Memphis area that I'm really battling, and just spread the word that this ain't the same Southeast. Okay, and now's the time to get behind this thing. And, you know, we got everything in place, and we need to capitalize on what's going on right now. And then, you know, we need your time, your money, your energy. Like, this thing don't just happen. You don't wave wands over a thing and be successful. Like, there's a reason people win, a reason people lose. Get behind it. It could be as simple as sending your grandkid to our camp. Do something, you know, to help us, get behind us, and then you get invested, and then you enjoy that win just as much as I enjoy that win.
Every football team has an identity. You said you're going to be a running team. On the running team, which positions are the most important, and how are you going to go out and get those?
Well, we're going to stop the run just as important as running the ball, but you know, you basically you run to score, but you got to throw to win. You know what I'm saying? But really, what running the football does for your program, it develops toughness and an attitude, and that's what we're going to be about. We're going to try to lead the country in attitude and effort. Like, I hope you walk out there and go, man, those guys are crazy. You see how fast and running and violent, and like they never stop running. That's what I want to be known for. It's not about scheme, it's about the other stuff. So attitude and effort.
Yeah, I appreciate your attitude. You know, players ought to come out screaming. That's what I remember in high school. And
Yeah.
That might have been missing in the last several years. I mean, just come out screaming their heads off.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm more worried about hyperventilating than not getting ready. And that's the thing. Like, we're going to have energy and juice. Even the way we take the field will be different than you've ever seen. Okay?
Goals on how many games you can win. If you're going to try that.
No, just like I said earlier, it's not about, that's about results.
Okay.
Or if you focus on making money, you don't make none. Because your focus is wrong. Your focus needs to be on servicing people, right? Same thing on a program. Like, you can't focus on wins, you got to focus on your attitude, you got to focus on your effort, you got to focus on your discipline, you got to focus on your growth. The 4 foundations of our program, and that's what I mean. Like, we could win 10 or we could win 1, it doesn't matter. Like, our ceiling's set based on who's on our roster. Now let's go try to get as close to our ceiling as we could get. I don't know what that is. But I know if you come to see us play, you won't see bad body language, you won't see kids doing this. You seen that, right? Like, I will hyperventilate. Like, I'll snap a hamstring trying to get him off the field. But those are the things that, you know, that we're going to be about, you know. So if you come to the field, and if you like people that get after people, you like people that come together and a common goal and those type of things, I think you'll love watching us play. But, you know, it's bad. And it's bad. Like, we've had 2 winning seasons in 20 years. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not hiding from it. That's the reason I took it. There's 2 thoughts in life. You can take a fear-based approach. You can say, oh, what if we don't? Or you can say, oh, shit, what if we do, man? They have parades will be around here, and we'll be partying all night long, right? That's what I'm about. So.
Well, the last 2 games, the basketball team played in Matukewics Center. It's quite evident there's plenty of enthusiasm in the football team.
And that's, just like you said, that Show Me Center was a joke. You know, I'm sorry. Like, if that offended, like it was. You walk in the Show Me Center and there's like tight ball games, and there's like, it's like church. Like, there are people getting it on. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are 18 to 20-year-olds. We should have to be telling them to stop, not come on. You know, and that's the thing. Like, our team, they got it on in there. They rushed the court because that was a big victory, right? Like, that's what you do when you have a big victory and things like that. And, you let's do those same things, and obviously basketball's farther along than us. I hope we rush this day. I hope we damn tear the goalpost down and throw it in the Mississippi. Wouldn't that be awesome? Hell yes, let's do this. Like that's what this is about. This is supposed to be fun.
Do you get the same response out of your kids as you are from us right now?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like I'm hard on them now. Wednesday, 6 a.m. we're at the stadium. Okay. All snow, there's no footing you could have. What was nice about it is it froze, so it was like razors everywhere. And we got it on, and that's what I told them, like, that's who we are. We do things the hard way. You may bitch about the hard way that we don't have an indoor, but that's the difference in us, because the strongest steel is from the hottest fire. Like, we're going to win because we don't have an indoor. We're going to win because we got to practice in the snow. We don't talk about that's what's not getting us to win, because we go play KU, they're butter soft. Oh, it's snowing. We get out there and get it on, because that's who we are. This community's a get it on community. This ain't about, hanging out and talking about things. It's about getting after it and getting it done. And that's what, and that concept, that word, the hard way, if you follow me on Twitter and our kids, and that's what we're going to have on the back of our helmet. It'll say the hard way, and we're going to embrace that. That's who we are. We're hard-working, hard-hat, lunch-pail people. Like we're, there ain't nothing wrong with being a little simple now and just coming to work.
I have to tell you, being at Walmart, every day and seeing, I see all the students and all the kids come in. I could not have told you in the last 3 years who the football players were. They can come in there now, and I know who they are. They got the shirt on that says brick by brick on the back.
Yeah.
And I can see they're 3 and 4 together.
Right.
Working at one thing. And I think that's just a turnaround of what you've done. And because before I would never know. I could see some big guy. I wonder if he plays football, if he's best. I don't know what he does, but I know now because I see him.
Yeah,
and they're proud.
And they've embraced it and
they
follow
are proud. Yeah, very proud.
Now, when I first got here, that's my problem too. I couldn't pick them out, which ain't good. Right? Like a good football player ought to stick out. So we need to get bigger people, like big matters. So, but I appreciate their attitude and effort. And the thing about that basketball thing you brought up, every one of our players thought, man, that was so fun. And that was mandatory. So they could have took the attitude, oh man, coach, right? But they got there, they had fun, and that's what it's about. And the team chemistry. Last night, we had this contest in the winter, but I gave them 25 points if they have a beauty party. So we're sectioned off into 8 teams during the spring, and if the unit leader got their whole unit over to watch the basketball game last night at 8 p.m., and they took a selfie of everybody and sent it to me, I gave them 25 points. It was amazing how everybody did it. You couldn't have slapped a smile off their face. That's a team building exercise right there, and that's how you build things and have a winning football team. It's not just X's and O's. Those are important too. Good question.